Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue and I am back for another Married to Medicine LA review, y'all. So, this episode started off with Kendra and Jasmine. Jasmine is going to help Kendra lose weight. And she goes into her house and goes through her kitchen and she throws stuff away and Coca-Cola. Really, Kendra? Coca-Cola? I was just like, girl, if you don't calm the hell down. Look, she do something. Let me tell you something. I don't care how much working out and clean eating you do. You have to have a vice. Okay, so I'm just looking at her like, I wonder what your vice is since you seem to be so clean in all these other areas. Jasmine says that she controls her weight with portion control, and she showed her one of these little bitty portions, and I was just like, oh Lord. Yeah, portion control. I think that it's not just about portion control. I think it's about what we're eating, you know. I'm just paying attention. Don't look at me because I eat whatever I want. I eat, look, compared to some people, I eat terrible. And I'm fine with that for the time being. I'm making changes. God is not through with me yet. But yeah, I don't see Kendra having the discipline to do the things that Jasmine does to retain her sexy, you know. And I did see those pictures of Kendra when she was, you know, smaller. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it, yeah. Britton and Amani. Now, I don't know whether this was planned or not, or whether they decided to just go ahead and throw this in the episode after everything that went down this past week. But Britton and Amani took their kids to the African American, you know, History Museum. Of course, we have to have conversations with children that don't look black about, you know, what it's going to be like for them if they ever get pulled over by the cops and the cop get an inkling that there's a black person in there somewhere. So, yeah, you know, we have to have that conversation, which is really, really uncomfortable. Amani talks about how when she was a kid growing up, you know, she had these experiences with white kids, and one specifically, you know, called her the N-word, and she beat the shit out of the kid, and then of course she ends up getting in trouble, you know, because it's her fault that she beat the shit out of her, but it's okay for the white girl to call me a nigga. Oh, okay. Child, look. This same thing happened to her son, you know, and she says that her son didn't beat the shit out of anybody, but she made the mom cry. I'm like, good, as you should. Because you know that that's something that they have going on in their household. And you know that they cry at the drop of a hat to invoke sympathy. And, you know, you get none of mine. Especially not in a situation like that. So, y'all, Kendra and Leah meet up to have their conversation without the rest of the girls like they said they would. And they discuss Shanique and how she threw Leah under the bus. And Leah, of course, has to clean this up. And I didn't mean it like that. I would just been like, girl, yeah, I looked at that outfit and it ain't my taste, okay? But it's, you know, it's no shade to you. It was a kiki. It was a joke. I'm sure I've worn something that you wouldn't wear. Like, so what? Leah says, I'm tired of fighting, okay? I'm tired of fighting. I don't want to argue with none of y'all. I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to argue with crazy ass Shanique. It is what it is at this point. Kendra wants them to meet up and hash it all out, okay? So she is going to bring the three of them together in hopes that there can be peace and harmony amongst the girls. I'm like, yeah, for the time being maybe. But Shanique is one of those people that you just can't count on to act like she has sense all the time. You just can't. Shanique shows Jasmine her real estate presentation that she plans on presenting to little bitty Robert, okay? Team Tenant Robert, shout out to Roxanne. And Jasmine is just like, are you finished or are you done? I just want to make sure that you're ready, okay? Because your husband is like my husband, and it just takes a lot to convince them. So I want you to be in a mindset that you're gonna do this whether he supports you or not, and he's just gonna have to get on the bus. And I was like, okay, I didn't know where this conversation was going, but when Jasmine got to the end, I was like, okay, that's some great advice, that she needs to have confidence in herself that she can do this without his you know, without his input, because eventually he'll catch on, especially if she does what she says she will do, which is succeed. Amani's mom comes over to her house to see her and her son because she just came back from China. Apparently Amani has a whole family in China. Her grandmother or great-grandmother, I can't remember which one she said, but her grandmother is half Chinese, half Jamaican. And so they got in contact with their family in China, and 22 black people got on a plane and went to China and had a ball. They can hardly speak each other's languages, but you know, a connection was made. And mom just came back from visiting them again and brought this really cool tea that was inside of a fruit. I was like, oh, that looked awesome. That looked like something I want my, you know, I love tea, y'all. Y'all know I love me some tea. So I was just like, that look good. But yeah, it's very interesting, right? Like, you can see it. Like, once they say it, you can look at Amani and look at her mom, and you can see like the Chinese features. Then they get into Amani's weird ass marriage with Phil, and how, you know, I think Amani's trying to act hard. Like, I think it's one of those situations where she misses her husband more than she's letting on. But she pretends as if, you know, everything is fine. And, you know, I'm getting the best sleep of my life now that he's gone, you know. But really, you miss your husband and you want him to be here. But you also realize he has to have something for himself. And that he can't keep, you know, living off of y'all's, you know, your income alone. I feel like she's in that headspace where she knows he has to carve something out in this world for himself again. After his music career, you know, kind of went downhill. And not no shade to him. It's just, you know, it is what it is. He ain't the only one. Then we find out that Amani kept that she was married to Phil for like 3 or 4 years from her mom. Like, her mom didn't know that she was married to Phil for the first 3 or 4 years of her marriage to him. Y'all, what's wrong with Amani? Amani said I was not going to give her room to have anything negative to say about my relationship. She was going to find out when I wanted her to find out. I was like, but that's your mom. Like, there's such a disconnect there. Like, you know, apparently the childhood was a lot more than Amani is letting on. Yeah, your dad abandoned you and all of that, but, you know, that's terrible. Y'all know what I'm saying? But I just feel like she took it harder than she let on. I'm just saying. Like, for her to be so disconnected the way she is, I feel like that has to be something, you know, that she hasn't really dealt with. Even though she is a psychiatrist and she can help everybody else deal with their issues, that doesn't always mean she can hold up a mirror to herself and really get down to the bottom of it all. But I do like Amani regardless. So y'all, Kendra, Leah, and Shanique are supposed to meet up, right? But Kendra took her precious time getting there in order to give Shanique and Leah some time to themselves, okay? Now, mind you, both of them showed up in open-toe shoes and yellow dresses and strappy purses and all of this. Like, they was matching and shit, okay? But the conversation took a long time to start. They were just sitting there waiting on Kendra for like 45 minutes. And they didn't really start talking to one another until Kendra showed up. In the confessionals, they're still talking shit about one another. She's terrible. She's so messy. She's so messy, you know, and all of that. But they end up making up, okay, and having a come to Jesus moment, realizing they have so many things in common. I think they both have children with the same name and, you know, all kind of stuff like that. And then once Shanique pulled a crystal out of her bra, it was pretty much, you know, love after that. I was just like, did she pull out a crystal? Like, all right, girl, you better put out the crystals. Amani, Britton, and Contessa come to New Orleans, okay? All of them went to Xavier, so I guess they coming back to, I don't know what they was coming back for, but everybody went to Xavier, so they coming back to New Orleans. And they go out to dinner, and they discuss how Amani got knocked up with her son by, you know, a man that she really wasn't in a relationship with. She didn't even know his whole name. So thank God for Phil. But she chose somebody that was unavailable, which means he was probably married, okay? Probably a professor of some sort. Amani does admit to the girls that she misses Phil. She realizes now that she misses him, you know, more than she realized she would. I'm like, girl, you need to admit that. And all the girls tell her that she needs to admit that she misses him and that she loves him. Tell him that, because him feeling like he's not needed, he may not be saying to you that he's disconnected from you because you don't seem to care that he's not there. You know what I mean? Child, you never know what's going on. But Britton, y'all, Britton had my nerves so bad by the time we got to the end of this episode, sitting up there talking about she don't want to tell her son to get out of the bed with her so her husband can be in the bed with her. Ma'am, your son is too, I don't care, especially when you married. It's different when you a single mother and it's just you and your kids. But if you got a whole ass husband, okay, he does not need to go and sleep in another room so your 9-year-old son can lay up next to you. Like, that's insane. Okay, y'all need to have some parameters, and you need to be able to tell your son to go and get in his damn bed before your husband leave you. It's almost like you trying to like push that man away. At first it was the move, he moved, and now you don't even want him in the bed. Like, is this just beginning to seem like Britton don't really want her husband? Like, somebody talk to me, okay? Tell me if I'm tripping. Meanwhile, Britton's husband, what's his name, Mark, whatever, and, you know, Teeny Tiny Robert are talking, and he's talking about the lack of intimacy and how he's been pushed out of the bedroom. It is an issue for him. And then she gonna be mad when he gonna have sex with some other girl. You're gonna be all in your feelings and upset and shit when that happens, but you don't have the time of day to make sure that your man is satisfied and feeling loved and needed in this household. Like, that is ridiculous to me. And the way she was just so like, I don't want him to come back in the bed. I don't want to kick my son out. Like, really? Contessa was like, girl, like, what is going on? Contessa was, you know, definitely letting it be known that she was not in agreement with whatever the hell Britton was over there going through in her mind, where she wanted to vocalize not wanting her husband in the bed and wanting to keep her 9-year-old son in the bed. Like, fuck your feelings. It's about your son having some independence from you. I know y'all don't want y'all kids to run and grow up fast, but they can sleep in their own beds and still be mama's boys. Like, that's just ridiculous to me, okay? Like, watching your husband have to keep going, walk down the hall to go and sleep in another room. Bye, daddy. Yeah, no. I don't know how he's allowed that to go on, because I threw that little boy in his fucking bed, or wait for him to go to sleep and then brought his ass in his bed, okay? Like, and then locked my door when I went back in there, so he couldn't come in there in the middle of the night. Take your ass back in your room and go to sleep. See, Teeny Tiny Robert don't really have this problem because Shanique always wants the D. Teeny Tiny Robert must be wearing that ass out, okay? Yeah. Dr. Heavenly ain't never lied when she said she think that Shanique and Teeny Tiny Robert be getting it in every night. That's why when Shanique get up in the morning, she all discombobulated and running around like she don't know what the hell going on, because she tired. He wore her ass out the night before. And he all relaxed and, you know, just all right, have a good day. You know, drinking his coffee that she made. Child, I cannot with Teeny Tiny Robert, y'all. Banging that little ass. I'm sorry. All right, y'all, that was Married to Medicine LA. The episode was good. I guess it's getting better. What y'all think? Comment down below and let me know. I'll see y'all in the next one.